Today we're going to make a vegan version of carbonara with a very simple and yummy tofu bacon recipe. It's going to be creamy and so rich without any egg or dairy. Hi guys, it's Rose and welcome back to Cheap Lazy Vegan and another recipe video. Today I'm gonna make a vegan version of vegan carbonara pasta. It's gonna be creamy, it's gonna be delicious, and I made it the other day and it was very good. To be fair, I don't know if I've ever had real carbonara. I don't remember. Okay, it's a long time ago. Either way, this is gonna be a delicious recipe. It's gonna be creamy, it's going to be slightly smoky. It's gonna be very good. So let's just jump right in. All right guys, so the recipe is going to be in a blog post down below. So make sure you check out the written recipe if you wanna make this, okay? So what I wanna do, first of all, I'm waiting for the pasta water to boil so I can boil the pasta. And while we do that, we can make the sauce, okay? So this is gonna be a slight variation of my 4-ingredient Alfredo sauce. Very, very similar because I don't like to do things the difficult way. If I already know a recipe is good, I'm gonna work on that, okay? I'm gonna build on that. Here we have a blender, yay! So into the blender, we're gonna make the delicious sauce. So first I'm gonna add some water. Woo-hoo. And then I have some soaked cashews. Now, if you can soak your cashews in advance, overnight, that's fantastic. If you can't, that's okay too. That's usually me. What I do is I just boil the cashews for like 20 minutes or so, just to soften them, so then it's easier to blend, okay? Or you can just let it sit in like hot water for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something like that, just to soften them, okay? So I'm gonna add the cashews in here. Next ingredient is going to be nutritional yeast. Next ingredient is gonna be some Better Than Bouillon seasoning, or you can use vegetable bouillon like the cube. Anyway, the recipe will be below, okay? We're gonna add that in. That's gonna add some nice saltiness, deliciousness. When in doubt, add some vegetable bouillon. Next, we're gonna add garlic powder. You can also do minced garlic, like fresh garlic, but if I'm lazy, I just use garlic powder. Add that in there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So that's basically the recipe for my 4-ingredient Alfredo. So to make it slightly different, I'm gonna add a little bit of turmeric. It's gonna give it more of that yellowish color. And then at the end, I'll also add something else, okay? But for now, we're doing turmeric, just a tiny little dash. It's optional, you don't need to. So there you go. Very simple sauce. We're gonna mix this up or blend this up, and then that's the sauce. All right, you guys. So I blended this up for about a minute or so until it's nice and creamy. Okay, so as you can see, it's slightly yellow. So that's the only real difference between this and my usual Alfredo sauce. I'm gonna give it a little, you know. So good. Oh my God. Why is it so good? Delicious. So now, this is the sauce. I'm just gonna set it aside for a moment while we do everything else, okay? Still waiting for this to boil. For now, I have this other pan. So on this other pan, what I'm gonna do is I've already cut up some extra firm tofu. I'm gonna basically make like a tofu bacon sort of situation. That's gonna add some protein and it's gonna be delicious, obviously, okay? And then I'm just going to take a pan. We're gonna add some oil. So we heated up some oil and now we're gonna add some tofu. Ooh. What I like to do is I like to cook this down for a bit, kind of make it nice and golden. Toss it around a few times, let it sit for a bit, and then toss it. And then we can add a few basic seasonings. It's very, very simple. Basically, I'm just going to mix together. We have here some liquid smoke. I have some soy sauce. Let's just mix it in. Soy sauce, liquid smoke, and agave nectar or maple syrup. So something sweet. Ooh, like that. Lovely. Oh, don't waste the agave nectar. It's precious. And then I'm just going to mix this up. That's gonna be our little sauce for the tofu bacon, but I'm gonna add it after the tofu has cooked up a little bit, okay? So as you can see here, cooking up nicely. Just gonna turn it up more. As you can see, it's slightly turning nice and golden. So you can cook it up a little bit longer and then we can add the sauce. All right guys, so this is taking forever to boil, but it is boiling. So let's cook up our pasta. I'm just using spaghettini. You can use spaghetti. You can use whatever pasta of your choice. So let's just cook it up. Then I'm just going to salt it a little bit. And now, as you can see here, the tofu is nice and golden. So now what I did was I just turned the heat to a low, and now we can pour in that sauce. Ooh. And just mix it up. And we are just going to let that kind of soak in to the tofu. It should caramelize pretty fast. There we go. All right, guys. So as you can see here, tofu has nicely caramelized and it looks beautiful. The heat is off now and it looks glorious. There you go. That's gonna be our tofu bacon. And then the pascheri should be basically cooked. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save some of this pasta water and then I'm gonna drain this. So I drain it, don't rinse it. And then we're gonna add in that lovely sauce. Ooh, look at that. Oh, as you can see, it is lovely. It is nice and glorious looking. Then, if I need some of the pasta sauce, I can add some of that in because sometimes this can get a little bit thick. And then once it gets thick, I like to add some of that pasta water, but might not need to at this point. There you go. And basically, guys, once you're basically done the pasta part, this part is very optional, but if you want to add a little bit of that eggy flavor, you can add a little bit of black salt. So this is what kind of makes it like a carbonara, okay? Because traditional carbonara is basically made with eggs, but I don't really know if it tastes like eggs. I don't think it does, but if you want a little bit of that egginess, we can add a little bit of that, just a little pinch, okay? And I add it at the end because if you add it before you're done cooking, the cooking process might eliminate that eggy flavor. But again, this is very optional. Black salt, you don't have to add it if you don't want to, but adds a nice little flavor. And oh my God, look at that. It looks so good. It already looks good. Look at that. And you can mix in the tofu bacon if you want. I'm just gonna actually plate it and then just top it with the tofu bacon. So that's just gonna be my choice. So let's plate it. So here it is. Oh my Lord. It is nice and starchy and sticky and oh my gosh. Cannot wait to try this. Okay, so let's just, oh, so good. Here we go. Ooh, it's gonna break. Ooh. So I'm gonna get a nice bite with some of that tofu bacon. A lot of that pasta. Here we go, vegan carbonara. Boop. Cheers. Guys, that is so good, okay? It is so rich and creamy, has a tiny little bit of that eggy taste, nice and smoky from the tofu. It is so easy and delicious. Highly, highly recommend, guys. Recipe is linked down below. Make sure you try this out. It is so good. Oh my God. You can also make a big batch of that sauce. That way you can, you know, have some of that delicious sauce ready to go and it's gonna be a really, really quick meal. Oh, you guys have to do one more bite. It is so good. Oh, so good. There are no more words. No more words. Anyway, guys, again, recipe link below. If you enjoy the recipe, if you try it out, if you think it's delicious, make sure you give the recipe a 5-star review on my blog. And also make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you think of this recipe. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.